tennis players, there's excitement in the air here tonight on center court at the West Side Tennis Club. A look at their head-to-head, Blake leading that one 2 matches to 1, and we are ready to go. This is best of 3. First game, first set. Game starts with a fault, a little long. This is a hard true surface. They call it clay. It's a soft surface, but playing rather fast, the players tell us. And Jimmy, we should mention that the ball being used is a women's U.S. Open ball that really goes through the air quickly.
Well, I think that's why, part of the reason why they feel like this surface is playing fast. If the ball is fast, well, then the surface will feel pretty quick.
Blake down the center.
30.
I'll tell you, the first game or two of any match, especially like this in these conditions, difficult to play. So far, James off to a quick start.
30.
The minute I say it, he dishes up a double fault, like the kiss of death.
We've both been making some of those calls today.
30-15. Oh, yes. Oh, and that's a great little drop volley from the American.
That's a great idea, and I don't know why players don't do it a little more often. Look at how far behind the baseline to return Zabaleta is. So he makes a good return, but if you come to net and hit a drop volley, boy, does Zabaleta have a lot of ground to try to cover.
Ooh. Oh, what a get. And a beautiful lob from Zabaleta. Great touch.
40.
This was a nicely disguised lob, as you can see. Blake didn't see it coming, had to run back. Hit this ball pretty well, but no way he could cover that next drop volley.
Ooh, and Blake going for that big forehand. Catches the net.
Part of the problem for Blake, I think, in the wind is that he's got such racket head speed that if the ball just moves a little bit on him while he's swinging at that velocity, he's going to make some errors.
Again, the lob. And some tremendous athletic ability from James Blake. He gets back quickly on that overhead.
Fooled him once, but didn't fool him the second time. Zabaleta. The exact same shot from the same place in the court, and that time Blake sniffed it out.
Just the net again. Zabaleta really respecting the Blake serve. Look how far behind that baseline he returns. No, it's going to go wide.
And that's not really respect for the Blake serve as much as that's where he returns serve from. He wants to be a million miles behind the baseline and scrambling. That's sort of his style, and that's why he prefers clay. You can't return from back there on a hard court and get away with it.
He's comfortable in that position. Break point. Blake with one of his best forehands. A deep ball in the corner. It's deuce. Cord will go long. Once again, a chance for Zabaleta to break in the very first game.
Turn off the baseline, and Zabaleta, for some reason, that's when you've got to move forward. You've hit a ball that skips off the baseline. You've got to expect a short ball back, and Zabaleta was slow to react to that short ball. game for James Blake and a bad sign for him. A sign that shows he doesn't like these type of conditions.
It's his weapon, that forehand. Break point again.
He doesn't seem to have the ability to temper the forehand a little. The conditions are tough. It's hard to hit rocket winners.
Zabaleta is pushed way off court. Tough first game here for James Blake.
Right there, please. Thank you.
You can see that wind swirling down there. Very difficult. It's going to go well.
See, that was a more controlled forehand that time. He didn't hit it so big. He was able to hit it as an approach shot and then hope that he could cover the net well. And I think he's going to have to do a little more of that tonight. There's another just controlled forehand.
So James Blake holds in a very tough first game.
First game.
Let's take a look at who has the edge in this match, and I gave them both forehands. James Blake maybe a little bit bigger, but maybe not today. Backhand, I gave it to both of them. It's really a weakness for both of them. Serve I gave to James Blake. Returns, both of them, because they return differently. Zabaleta likes to get the return in play. Blake likes to hit clean winner returns, but he'll give you free points. The volleys, James Blake. And the intangibles, I actually wasn't sure who to give the intangibles to. I gave him to Blake. He's ranked higher. He's in the top 10. He's got some confidence. Zabaleta, on the other hand, is more comfortable on clay. Has been to a Tennis Master Series clay court final in Hamburg a number of years back, losing a tough 5-setter to Marcelo Rios.
I will watch your checks very closely as we move along here tonight, Jim. Blake right on the baseline to return, much further up than Zabaleta.
Different type of returner, which is what I was saying. He's going to try to hit winners.
There it is.
Like that.
You called it.
But he'll give you some free ones where he'll miss 4 returns in a game. It's just a different attitude returning that Blake has from Zabaleta. Here's an idea running around that second serve. That's a bit of a weakness for Zabaleta, the second serve.
Blake feels that's his big opportunity on the second serve return. Maybe better than being in a rally. Short ball. Oh, that's going to stay in.
Zabaleta's there.
Great get. I don't believe it. And Blake, who has the point one, tries a delicate little drop volley that dropped a little too quick.
Tried to be a little too cute, Blake. He gets a good break here off the top of the net. Now he's just got to keep moving forward. Instead, he waits. It makes a little bit of a tough volley. Had he just kept running in, he had a sitter on top of the net.
I thought he'd move and hit a forehand volley for a winner there. How easy it is from up here, huh, Jimmy?
Yeah, that's why I'm up here. I never miss when I'm up here.
30-15, Zabaleta. Second game, first set. We're off to a heck of a start in this match already. Very tight first game for James Blake. .15. Interesting motion on that take back from Zabaleta. Will go wide. And Mariano Zabaleta holds. Zabaleta, who had some real problems back in 2004. He had surgery on his knee and really kept him out most of the rest of that year and then on into 2006. So he is on the comeback trail.
Yes, he is. He's had a nice couple of months recently here. Missed 5 months last year. That's the main reason his ranking has dropped as far as it has. But he did tell me he's played well in some challengers. He's gotten some confidence back. And he's trying to win this match to possibly get him into the main draw at Roland Garros. As of right now, he'd have to play qualifying. But there's a decent chance if he wins this match, the cutoff for the entry is on Monday.
to go long.
15.
Here's a look at the scouting report for Zabaleta. He's got a big forehand. That's his main weapon. His tenacity, is willing to fight. He showed that when he ran down the let court ball that Blake hit. His return to serve I put as a strength because it's consistent, at least on clay. His weakness is backhand side is a little bit weak in his second serve. We saw Blake jump all over one of his second serve deliveries.
No, that's going to be a double. Well, Zabaleta, who became the Roland Garros French Open junior champion back in 1995. Whenever you win that title as a junior, you know you love those clay courts. That's wide. 15-30. Blake in trouble again on his serve.
That's second.
That's a let.
The serve is looking very shaky at the moment. Already one double. That second serve only 84 miles an hour. And two lets in a row on second serve. The wind is causing him some problems.
He should win it, and he does.
Well, that's the play he's going to have to keep coming up with, Blake. He's not going to be able to just rip forehands with the wind blowing the way it is. But what he has done well is taken a little off it and just rolled it to the backhand. This weaker side from Zabaleta. He's not doing much with the passing shots.
A little high.
He was effective with a couple lobs early, but Blake sniffed that out, and now he's trying to hit passing shots and not getting much on them.
Easy volley for James Blake, and from 15-30 down, Blake holds. 2-1 Blake. First set.
Superior racket speed has been elusive until now. Introducing O3 Speedport, only from Prince. O3 Speedport rackets are up to 24% faster through the air, giving you more powerful serves, more penetrating ground strokes, and crisper volleys. Experience the benefits of extra racket speed. O3 Speed.
2-1 now. James Blake, the number 2 seed, leading in the first set. This is best of 3 semifinal action from the U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships in Houston, Texas. Glad to be with you on Tennis Channel, bringing you the action tonight. Love. It's long.
30.
Zabaleta's father, a very famous soccer player down in Argentina, and look who's joined us tonight, the 41st President of the United States, George Bush, with Barbara in the front row. Behind them, Jim McIngvale, the promoter of this event and the gentleman who built this stadium several years ago. What a great spot it is for clay court tennis. Bush's favorite doubles player, Jimmy, is Chris Evert.
He plays, you're right, yeah. He plays with her every year at her charity event, and he seems to win every time. I don't know if the fix is in.
He knows how to pick his partners. Of course, Barbara, his all-time favorite partner there, and they're braving the tough weather here tonight. We were saying earlier, George invited all of the players to come out to his private residence on Monday. They had a reception out there, and about 25 of the guys took him up on the invite and had a wonderful time. He loves tennis. It's great to have him involved as a supporter of our sport. I remember seeing George Bush and Chris Evert playing doubles at Newport, Rhode Island at the weekend there several years ago. They were having a great time. Smothers that forehand. looking pretty relaxed tonight. He's pretty confident. He would love to reach the final here and have a shot at Karlovic. Big serve from Zabaleta. He holds. We're at 2 games all.
2 games all. Can you roll that one across, please? Across. Thanks.
He's found a little pattern that's working for him right now, Blake is, and that is attack the backhand, come to net on the backhand of Mariano Zabaleta. And if he is to win this match, Blake, he should do that again tomorrow in the finals against Karlovic.
Well, we know one thing, Karlovic will be in at net no matter who he plays.
Although he stayed back a little more than I thought he
Yeah.
should today in his win. And I don't think he can do that against these 2 guys.
Second serve, 30 love, Blake. Drop shot will not work.
Blake was off balance on every shot in that rally. 3 times in a row, he didn't quite have his feet underneath him, and yet he managed to squeak the point out after a bad drop shot attempt from Zabaleta.
Long. Still game point for Blake. It's a wide, and James Blake holds in the 5th game of the first set. Up 3 games to 2 in the first set.
Let's look at James Blake's scouting report. His strengths are his forehand, his incredible speed, and when he's confident, that's one of his big strengths. Weaknesses are shot selection. Sometimes just goes for too much on every ball, and his backhand at times can be a little bit iffy.
Mariano Zabaleta, Jimmy, I think surprising Blake with a pretty solid first serve.
He's got a good first serve, and
Yeah.
not a great second serve, and it's important for him to get a good percentage in if he wants to win this match. He's at 66% at the moment. Not bad, especially in this win.
Interesting take back. Look at that. Straight up. That ball hits the center service line. 30 off for an ace.
He's got a little modified Jay Berger, Brad Gilbert take back. I don't know if you remember those two when they would just get it right to back scratch position and then toss it up. That's a little bit of what Zabaleta does.
Oh, that's a big forehand. Zabaleta bounces.
That's why I said when I was giving you who has the strength on the forehand, he also has a big forehand. Don't let him fool you, Zabaleta. And this is an example of that, stepping into the baseline and ripping the inside out forehand. And he's not afraid to follow those up to the net either. As you saw, he was going to come in if Blake happened to make a weak reply.
Serve. No, it'll go wide. And Zabaleta holds. Mariano Zabaleta, very interesting service motion. I have a chance to have a little closer look at this now. Watch the way he takes this racket. Right there, instead of coming down, it goes straight up
3 games off.
Very interesting, Jimmy. It really doesn't allow him to get a lot of weight into it, but he somehow bends those knees and really moves into the ball.
Now this position looks almost normal, like other players would look at that point. But instead of taking the racket down and around, he just goes straight up in the air, points it to the sky. It's a strange motion, as you said, but it's whatever works for you rhythm-wise. And in the end, he gets in the right position.
Yeah, he does move his weight into it very well.
15.
3 games all, first set.
Zabaleta hates to miss returns. When you're returning from that far behind the baseline, your job is to get them all back in play. That's what you're trying to do from back there.
Good. No.
That's a bad call.
A delayed call.
Zabaleta saying good and releases the mark before the umpire even has a chance to come out.
No.
Wait a second. Let's listen.
No, that was nice of Zabaleta too. Not only did he give the call to Blake, but he gave him the point because the umpire had said play elect because the call had been out, and Blake was complaining, saying no, he'd already hit it before the call came. Zabaleta just let him take the point. Very sportsmanlike there.
Absolutely.
Because Zabaleta could have just gone with the umpire's call.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's his decision.
And James Blake holds in the 7th game of the first set. 4-3 Blake from Houston.
This month on No Strings, keeping up with Juan Carlos Ferrero at his academy in Spain as he gets fit for his comeback.
I want to be back like I was. We have to do this because if not, you are almost dead.
Watches the fur fly.
He gets crazy and she runs over everybody.
Jokes with his buddies.
This good.
And shifts into overdrive off court. Juan Carlos Ferrero. No Strings. This month only on the Tennis Channel. A little shopping spree in the Big Apple. $500. A leisurely afternoon stroll. Paris, France. $900.
It's going to be tough to beat.
He's never lost there. 14-0 in his career.
Amazing stat.
You ought to not play it again.
Walk away
undefeated.
Yeah. 4-3 Blake now. First set here.
Again, running around that second serve. That's going to be a contention for Zabaleta. He's going to have to eventually take a chance, keep Blake honest with a couple of second serves wide to the forehand.
Zabaleta gets that first one, and it's tough. 119 miles per hour.
He's 10 of 11 when he gets the first serve in, Zabaleta, in this match to this point.
Again, missing with that big forehand return. Zabaleta
5 of 7 when he misses first serve. So on second serve, really, he's dominating the action in some ways. He's only lost 3 points on his serve to this point. Blake has lost 14.
Zabaleta winning on his own serve much easier than Blake. Saving a lot of energy early.
Boy, there's some ugly shots when the wind gets a hold of him in this match so far tonight. That's an example of one where the entire point the players didn't hit a shot where they looked comfortable.
Well, as a player, Jimmy, you and I both know it. When you don't hit the ball cleanly, there's something non-satisfying about playing a match like that.
Yeah, it's worse than nonsense. It drives you crazy after a while.
Service ace down the center. And Zabaleta holds once again with his second ace of the match. 4 games all. We have reached that crucial stage. Blake, he's ready to
talking
serve.
over at his box. Zabaleta is. They're right next to him now, right to his right where he's standing. And he was saying the ball, he can't time it. He's so far out in front of him when he has missed a couple of shots. Look at him moving his feet. All of a sudden, he's getting pumped up.
Midcourt will go long. He's really communicating with his followers at the moment. Love 15. It's a fault. Easy put away for Blake.
Zabaleta allows you to do is when you come to net, because he's so far back, you can get so close to the net. You have so much time to get it tight. It takes away a lot of opportunities, a lot of space for Zabaleta to hit passing shots to from that far back when a player is that close to the net.
That net is so tightly stretched. When that ball hits the top, it really takes off. No. Uncomfortable feeling from Zabaleta on that volley.
You know what? Normally he's not a bad volleyer at all. That time you're right. He was so open. He never got turned sideways to that volley, and it was an ugly looking stroke. I'm going to say that maybe the wind played a little bit of that havoc with the volley. I'm hoping.
Will go wide. 5-4 when we return. Zabaleta serves to stay in the first set.
Stina or Kim Kleisters went for Flipkins.
Big game coming up right here. This crowd getting behind Zabaleta. They want him to hang in. 4-5. 10th game now. Oh, that's just too good. Zabaleta hits one of his best forehands of the night.
Blake only 4 points, won so far on return of serve. Really, he's been fortunate because he's had some struggles on his own serve. He's fortunate to have this little bit of a lead, and if he could just get to 30 all or so in this game, you feel like Zabaleta might feel the pressure. It's always frustrating when you've been dominating an opponent, but you don't get ahead. And then when they finally get a little bit of a chance, you start feeling the pressure.
Another big forehand from Zabaleta. 30 love. Takes the big chance, and it works.
30-15.
Again, attacking second serve, but this is a different way to do it. Instead of ripping a forehand, he comes in behind the second serve, and then pretty fortunate to dig that volley off his shoe tops for a drop volley winner.
It's wide. Good chance on a second serve for Blake. We'll see if he goes for it here.
This one will be harder to come to net on because he should be able to get this ball out wide. Or he should just go for an ace.
Zabaleta saw James move to his left, opened up with a second serve ace, his third of the match.
He definitely needs to do that a few more times to keep Blake honest, to make it a little bit difficult to attack second serves. There's a good game from Zabaleta. He played beautifully.
Superb tennis from the young man from Argentina. It is 5 games all. First set. Zabaleta's fun to watch, Jimmy. He's a very fiery kind of guy, isn't he?
He's fiery, and he's trying to get himself pumped up. To this point, it hasn't been a great match because of the conditions, and so he's wanting to stay positive out there, and that's what you see from him.
Stretch ball's good.
Yeah.
Overrule from the umpire.
It's the one further. It's the one. No. I know which one it is. It's the one that's further.
Telling James exactly which mark he is watching. They will start this point again. Good. Point of the match. Great play from both players.
Zabaleta finally able to win a point when Blake gets to the net, and then eventually he got him back to the baseline. Zabaleta did and came to net himself, and this was a tough volley that he now dug up off his shoe tops. I told you he's not a bad volleyer, Zabaleta. I've seen him play enough to know he knows how to move up there.
Hit the line.
Wow.
That ball just hit the sideline and skidded off.
Zabaleta's making gyrations like he's just won the U.S. Open, so he's very pumped up at the moment. He knows this is his opportunity.
Love 30. Oh, a miss hit from the two-hander.
Over anxious.
Gets lucky on that. It was not that big a serve. Zabaleta again out hitting Blake from the baseline, and now 2 break points for Zabaleta. Drop shot. Open court, and there it is. And Mariano Zabaleta has broken serve. When we return, Zabaleta will serve for the first set.
For him to say he's back. Now, the man who beat both of those finalists from last year is playing right now, Mariano Zabaleta, and he's serving for the first set against Blake.
Out.
That's a pretty good effort on the overhead, because you can see he misjudged it a little bit. He still managed to pop it off with some power.
That ball wobbling through the air in this tremendous wind. So Zabaleta now 3 points away from a first set. Oh, it's going to go wide. Mariano Zabaleta, 30 love. With big serve, and now Zabaleta a triple set point. a short ball, try to do a little too much. Blake is still alive.
So one thing I actually like about Zabaleta's game is that he moves back quite a bit, as we've seen, but he's not afraid to come forward and attack and come to net when he does get a short ball. So he doesn't let you feel comfortable just because he's back that far behind the baseline.
No.
Oh, is he getting a little uptight all of a sudden, Zabaleta? A couple of set points, and he's made a couple of easy errors.
40-30.
Still set point. Shaky.
But this is where James Blake, I worry about him. He doesn't seem to recognize sometimes his players, his opponents getting nervous, put the ball in play. Sometimes he still tries to hit that clean winner right off the bat and makes an error. Go ahead and allow your opponent to choke if that's what he's doing.
Off the forehand right on the line.
And he did well that point. Kept the ball in play, Blake, and then when he had a shot he liked the look of, he went for it here down the line and got a little fortunate, as you said, it just clipped the tape.
So 40 love up. We are at deuce.
Zabaleta taking a long time after squandering those 3 set points.
Another error, and now Blake, who looked out of this game, has a chance to break serve and get into a tiebreak.
Zabaleta had been holding serve with such ease, was cruising through this game at 40 love up, and made 2 horrible errors, and now a third on that last forehand. But Blake has done a good job sensing the nerves and not doing too much.
It's a fault. Zabaleta thought he might have had the ace. Second serve.
He needed the ace. That was a great combination. A good second serve out wide. Took advantage of the short return.
Fault. Zabaleta just about jumping out of his skin on these big points. Second serve now.
Ooh. This is the side, and the deuce side, that he has more trouble on his second serve against Blake, because he likes to kick it to the backhand. Blake knows it, and he's been running around. This is the side he needs to take a chance on one time and go out wide. I'm not sure it's the right time here at deuce.
It is. Would go long, the slice off the forehand.
But again, because he misjudged it with the wind, Blake, he wasn't in position for that forehand and had to go to a chip.
Mariano Zabaleta now at set point.
He's already lost 3 set point chances. Here's number 4.
Oh, Zabaleta.
Wow.
6 feet over the service line with a double fault. His first double of the match, and what a time for it. Set point. It's deuce.
He's Feeling the pressure. This guy wants to be on Tennis Channel's coverage of Roland Garros, and he's only going to get there if he can win this match and make it to the main draw. He's feeling the pressure. There's that serve out wide that I said he has to go for at some point, and he does it at 6-5 deuce. What a gutsy second serve.
Oh, big second serve.
Had he missed it, we would have said, what a silly shot to try at that point.
Once again, set point, Zabaleta. Zabaleta jumps over to that sideline. He wins the first set, 7-5, avoids the tiebreak. We're at the U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships, Houston, Texas. Stay with us. Tennis Channel bringing you semifinal action, U.S. Clay Courts from Houston. Mariano Zabaleta out of Argentina winning the first set over the number 2 seed, James Blake. We start the second. Blake to serve. This is best of 3 semifinal action for a berth in the championship match tomorrow against Ivo Karlovic. Look out.
I think he missed it. He did. There's only one mark left.
That is amazing. And Blake on his third overhead hits long. Love 15.
Could be tough mentally to overcome for Blake missing a shot like that to start the second set after a disappointing end for him in the first set.
Use the word momentum so often, but certainly the momentum in Zabaleta's favor right now. Now it is really roaring for the Argentine. Love 30. The minute I say it, Jimmy, he misses probably.
That's a strange error. You're right. He's got momentum. It's love 30. You got to make the guy who looks a little bit downcast at the moment, and James Blake make him play.
Shot. That's good.
That's great speed by Blake. Even though he didn't get that ball back at club, he was catching up to the line.
15-40.
A tremendous point from both players, and now Zabaleta. Great point.
Look at it. He's moving forward. That lob gets over his head. Blake turns the burners on, able to try to get that lob on the rise almost, but unhappy with himself, and 8 points now.
Oh, that's too good. Blake with one of his best forehands of the week.
30-40.
Clean winner. Still break point, Zabaleta.
You get the feeling this can be Zabaleta's match if he can keep his head, but that he's getting a little bit nervous. You can see the break points. That tells a little bit of the story. He's had a lot of chances and only broken once. He's not winning the big points, but he's playing better than Blake is for the most part. He can keep his head. He should win this one.
Man here off the backhand from Blake. Once again, Zabaleta with an opportunity to break.
Oh, shank by Blake and an even bigger shank by Zabaleta after.
advantage Blake.
James Blake gets out of trouble. He holds 1-love, second set.
First game, second set.
Here's a look at what happened in that first set as Zabaleta at 4-5 in the first. He's able to hit some big forehands, and then at 5-all, he starts the game off with this volley winner. He went on to break serve. For those two games at least, he was controlling the action, Zabaleta was, and got that great lead. Serve for this set had triple set point. This was the third set point after he'd already made two bad errors, Zabaleta. And on this third set point, James Blake came up with the goods with this forehand down the line. And this is where I thought Blake should have said, and given some emotion. He didn't show any emotion. Break point for Blake, and the first good shot he offers Zabaleta. That's some emotion. That's what I'm talking about. Double fault on another of the set points for Zabaleta, and then finally, on his fifth set point, he gets the return error.
Didn't win it easily, but he did, and Zabaleta with the set ahead here. Best of 3. Yeah, the body language from Blake is not good at this point in the match.
Sometimes you're playing in conditions that are difficult, as they are tonight. You've lost a long, tough first set. You start to get a little bit discouraged, and that's something that doesn't bode well for you the rest of the match normally. It's not as if you start to tank, but you get the attitude that he has here. That's why he's yelling. He's fighting with himself right now. He's going through moments when he's saying, I just can't play, and then trying to talk himself into playing well again.
Well, he had an emotional weekend last weekend in Winston-Salem on the other side of the country. So he has been on the road for some time. Oh, yes.
Decent volley from a little bit out of position, but then he really guessed, didn't he, Zabaleta? He was selling out for the cross-court angle. Blake passed him with plenty of room to spare down the line.
Goes for the forehand winner, catches the tape, and Zabaleta holds.
One game
all, second set. U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships on Tennis Channel, semifinal action. Glad to be bringing it to you from Houston.
Frustration at times. Conditions are tough, the wind is blowing, and they just can't believe some of the errors that they are making. When a guy's standing this far back to return, you've got to serve wide more than Blake is. Not only winning that serve, that point down the middle, but really you can such a great opening for yourself with a good wide serve. The guy's got to go so far out of the court to return it that it sets the rest of the point up for you.
That is too good. And James Blake comes to life. 2-1 Blake. Second set. A chilly evening in Houston, Texas. These folks came prepared. They're blanketed up. Temperature in the low 50s, actually heading to the high 40s, we're told tonight. Not good conditions to play tennis. Certainly the wind, as we mentioned on more than one occasion, is a big factor on that center court.
15 seconds.
Mario Zabaleta with the first set against the number 2 seed, James Blake. 15 love, fourth game, second set. Blake has yet to put together a string of games, hasn't he, Jim? He really hasn't done it so far.
Well, he really has yet to put together a decent return to serve game. The only break point he had was because Zabaleta was choking when serving for the set.
Yeah.
Other than that, really, Zabaleta has held with ease throughout this match.
15. Ivo Karlovic, the 6'10" Croatian, is already in the finals. We'll have that match tomorrow. We'll take on the winner of this match right here tomorrow. Oh.
As soon as I said he's only one decent return game, it's a couple of errors in a row again from Zabaleta. It's strange. He seems to be in control, and then he'll suddenly give away a couple of points. This is when Blake needs to show some emotion. Get into Zabaleta's head a little bit.
There it is. Blake with 3 straight points, and now James Blake with a chance to break and go up 3-1.
That was the best backhand of the match for Blake. He really stepped in and hit it solidly down the line. Backhand has looked a little shaky. Zabaleta, as he's been doing in this match, the big points he takes a little bit longer to get the ball in play. Walks around a little more. Second serve, I wouldn't mind seeing Blake attempt to run around. I don't think he's going to because of where he's standing. It looks like he's going to try to take the return early and attack with his backhand.
Oh,
That's it.
it's wide. And Blake, who has a big chance up the line, just missing wide.
And as he gobble up court, Blake on the move. This was a great drop volley, and he got there with ease. Oh, just he's got to control that ball down the line, but so comfortably.
Yeah, he had plenty of time to just ease that forehand in. Zabaleta opens up with a huge forehand right into the corner. That would go long. Zabaleta gets out of trouble. He holds. 2 games all. Second set. You hear this crowd getting behind James Blake. They wanted to get back in this match, win the second set, and force a third.
Blake, you have to jump up in a hurry to get to that overhead. He told me earlier this week that he has a 35-inch vertical lead, which is pretty impressive.
Yes.
30 love.
One of the best games that Blake has played on his own serve takes him quickly to 40 love. And Blake, very impressive game. Old servant love. Three games to two now. James Blake coming to life here in this second set against Mariano Zabaleta, unseeded. Zabaleta prepares to serve. Sixth game, second set.
That's a little bit lazy for Blake. He needs to run around that ball and hit a forehand instead of trying to rip a clean backhand winner. That's not his strength. He never seems, Blake, in this match to get a lead on Zabaleta's serve. He's come back a couple times from 40 love and 30 love to put pressure. But it always seems as though Zabaleta wins the first 2 points of every service game, and it's tough to break serve from that position.
30 love.
That's first.
Two-hander, drills it up the line. 40 love. Oh, I don't believe it. Very shaky drop shot. Zabaleta holds. Games all. Jimmy, you won this tournament in 1983. Who was the toughest clay court player you played against that year?
Well, Andres Gomez in the finals was a pretty tough match, and that was the summer that Jose Luis Clerc was winning all the events in the U.S. clay court summer that we used to have. And
Vilas still around?
He was, but luckily Clerc lost that year in Indianapolis. The tournament was.
So you played Gomez in the final?
In the final.
Former French Open champion?
I think I'd swap those titles with him. He can have the Indianapolis. I'll take Roland Garros, but it didn't happen.
Can you get the ball, please?
And Zabaleta catches a little top of the net. It works. 15 all, seventh game now. Second set. Zabaleta very fired up, has been all evening. Wind a factor once again. Boy, you can see that ball just whizzing through the air down there. Very tough to judge.
It's funny how slow balls like that on a windy day are actually very tough to deal with. You don't often think, hey, let's give the guy a slow nothing ball, but it would be a bad strategy today. Fabrice Santoro would be impossible to beat in these conditions.
Second serve, 15-30. big points here for both players.
Kicking up even more in this game, which is causing Blake some problems.
Oh, it's wide. And a very close call, but wide. And now Zabaleta with a big opportunity. Double break point. It's a fault. Ooh. The ball just about ready to come back on the court.
Stop before you started.
Wow, that's tough because it was a pretty good second serve from Blake, and now he's got to do it again. He doesn't get 2 serves.
That's going to be just wide. Oh, I thought it was good for a moment.
That was a dangerous approach from Blake. You don't want to approach Blake's forehand if you can help it. He got away with it, but barely.
Still break point. And Zabaleta gets backed up on a strong forehand volley from Blake.
Tell you, that was 2 very fortunate points in a row for Blake. He barely dodged the first bullet on the passing shot, and then that was a fairly lucky volley that hit the baseline.
Oh, that's going to go long. And Blake from 15-40 down, now with a chance to hold. That is too good, and James Blake, a remarkable comeback. He's up 4-3, second set.
But most people think the man we highlighted there, Roger Federer, is going to catch him, and it's just a matter of time. He's been in 7 Grand Slam finals, the last 7, and he's won 6 of them. The French Open is the one that's eluded him so far, and mostly because of one man, Rafael Nadal, has beaten him the last 2 years there.
Federer win the French this year, Jimmy?
Well, he can, but now you're asking me at a time when he's actually lost a couple of matches to Guillermo Cañas the last 2 tournaments he's played, so he's seemingly human again.
Double fault gives Blake an early opportunity here. Love 15.
What would be fun is if Roger Federer did win Roland Garros and then won Wimbledon and had a chance for a Grand Slam going into the U.S. Open. That would be something to see.
Fault.
It's long.
That hasn't happened since 1969 with Zabaleta changing the call again, so they're going to play a lot. Rod Laver, the last man to win the Grand Slam in 1969.
Won it after Open tennis, which came in '68. Laver, of course, winning in '62 as an amateur.
That was actually an important point for Zabaleta, and you saw the way he reacted to that forehand winner. Very excited because, as I said a game ago, he never seems to fall behind on his serve. This was the first time I remember him being even love 15. Didn't want to get down love 30.
Zabaleta ready to start. The wind comes roaring up. Starting to talk to himself now, Zabaleta. Blake with a chance here, 15-30. takes a chance on a second serve. Double fault. Now Blake with two big opportunities.
Ooh, boy. Fortunate return by Blake as it catches the sideline, but then Zabaleta gets lucky himself. Left court winner, as you mentioned. This net is very tight. The ball tends to fly when it hits the top of the net here.
Still break point, Blake to go up 5-3. He'll get it.
He's got to start making that shot. He's doing a great job, James Blake, of running down drop shots and running down short balls, but then he hasn't put it in play. Here's another example. This was a lucky volley, as it was a shank that turned into a drop shot, but Blake got there in time to at least put it in.
Double. Zabaleta takes another big chance.
Taking a look at it.
Advantage Blake.
Zabaleta again worried about the running around of his second serve by Blake. Tries to serve it to the forehand. Second double of this game. That looked like it did miss. Wow.
Okay.
Called by the umpire, not the linesman. So Blake gets the break.
A big break for James Blake. A close call. Now Blake will serve to even this match at a set apiece.
Blake leads 5 games.
So one thing that get another look at it just why. That's one of the things Zabaleta has done when he's been down in the score. He really plays aggressively, and that's the first time he hasn't played a good shot.
Gets caught.
Love 15.
15.
Blake serving for the set. He has been broken once. That was at 5-all in the first set. He has had many break points against him that he saved. That serve, if he has that serve in his bag, he should be using it all day. The wide serve when his opponent is that far back.
Blake, his first ace of the match.
It's tough to hit aces when a guy's standing in the fence.
The tape, Zabaleta trying to claw his way back into this set. 30-all.
Blake needs to go wide again with this serve and then attack.
Does.
He did exactly the play I wanted him to do, but then it was a great passing shot from Zabaleta.
No, it's further in.
Uh-oh. Zabaleta looking to a spot. He will not contest it.
So Blake had to come up with an excellent little half volley.
And on set point, Zabaleta goes for the two-hander. It works.
What he seems to do is when he's down in the score, he gets extra aggressive, Zabaleta, and there's another example. He hasn't hit many backhand down the lines.
Oh, that's wide. once again, set point, Blake. Good.
So is that.
Oh, I don't believe it. An unbelievable forehand from Zabaleta.
You can get a look at his slide with our cameras. He slid right into the baseline, Judge, on the forehand side. This was an angle forehand from Blake that I thought was going out. Somehow it goes in, and take a look at this. Hits it for a winner. He had to hit a winner from that position. Nearly took out the line judge.
That's too good. Wow. Zabaleta coming up with unbelievable shots on big points.
I mean, this is tough conditions, and all of a sudden these guys are coming up with just some ridiculous shots, especially Zabaleta the last couple of points.
Off set points.
Monte Carlo.
James Blake now 5 games to 4. But Mariano Zabaleta has clawed his way back into this second set. He now serves to get even at 5 games all.
Can you get that ball, please? Thanks, Margo.
Zabaleta opens up. From Zabaleta. 40 gets his racket out of the way, and now Zabaleta 1 point away, evening this set at 5 games all. Goes long, 5 games all. We're dead even. Well, speaking of clay court tennis, Jimmy Tennis Channel will be covering Monte Carlo tennis starting this coming Monday. Both Federer and Nadal will be playing on the red clay of the Monte Carlo Country Club, as they call it over there. But 7 days of coverage on Tennis Channel. Check your local listings, everybody. That should be a beautiful. 15 love. Zabaleta has come to life in this second set.
Well, he's reading the forehand of Blake. Too often now Blake is peppering the backhand side with his forehand, going inside out, or in this case down the line to the backhand. And Zabaleta's there. He just used the pace beautifully and redirected it. Blake's got to go to the forehand sometimes.
That's good.
It was a nice close. Whenever a guy hits a chip passing shot, you don't split step and wait. You get as close to the net as you can for that first volley.
He'll get it. Oh, it's wide.
That was a little bit of a nervous pass. That should have been a point for Zabaleta.
Time.
James Blake has played some marvelous tennis in his career. Jimmy, a look at some of those titles.
You can see that he enjoys playing #1 in the United States and #2 on hard courts is Washington, New Haven, Vegas, Indianapolis, all hard court events. And outside of the U.S., Stockholm, Sydney, Bangkok, Stockholm again, and Sydney again. Those are all hard court events. He has not been a stalwart on the clay courts. In fact, this was his first semifinal, much less final on clay.
Crowd getting behind the American. We want to see 3 sets.
Having said all that, I think he's the favorite to win here if he can get through this match. The finals is Ivo Karlovic, a guy that is also not known for his clay court tennis, and if anything, it's got to hurt his game more than Blake's playing on clay.
Miss hit.
It goes long, but this match obviously definitely in doubt for James Blake. He's down a set. And he's running out of time a little bit in the second set. Those are the kind of errors that drive you crazy. Just trying to chip it back in play. It's one thing if he was being aggressive with that short ball, trying to come to net behind it, but instead he was just putting it in.
Zabaleta 2 points away from a tiebreak. The big serve out wide works again. 40-15. Is long.
Zabaleta.
And Zabaleta holds. We are at 6 games all. We will have a tiebreak.
6 games all, second set, tiebreak.
James Blake in this position, you've got to think back to Zabaleta, the way he struggled to serve out the first set, and take heart in the fact that maybe if he gets in position to win, he'll get a little bit tight again. James Blake's tiebreak record this year pretty good. He won 2 yesterday in his quarterfinal win, including in the 3rd set.
Believe it. We'll get it.
He just can't make that shot. It's unbelievable. Blake somewhere safe. He's got a guy at the baseline. He's covered the drop shot again. You can see him yelling at himself to hit that with topspin because he's getting to the drop shot with so much time.
And a risky shot from Zabaleta, Jimmy. I thought he'd go inside out with the forehand.
Exactly. He had the .1 if he just went inside out. He got a break that time.
First serve. Zabaleta, easy forehand. Midcourt. Ooh, that was a little close. Blake, who had the whole court to the other side, almost misses that overhead.
It was tough to hit it to the other side, though, where the ball ended up. The wind makes these shots a little more difficult than they normally are, those type of short lobs.
Double fault. Blake takes a big chance on the second serve. His third double of the match. Return from Blake. And a big point, otherwise he's down 4-2.
There's a look, steps out, open stance, finishes beautifully. That's the Blake return to serve. It's a little bit all or nothing for him.
James didn't even bother to towel off, just walked around on the far side from the umpire.
It's 20 degrees outside. He's not sweating.
3 points all. Oh, yes. Beautiful coverage off that forehand side.
Blake has beautiful catch-up speed, and what I mean by that is he can it seems as though the shot's open, and all of a sudden he closes that opening in such a hurry, and that's what he did there. He caught up to that passing shot in a hurry.
And Blake down the center at 121 miles per hour. 5-4, Blake. It's a fault. Zabaleta has a wide open court, misses the forehand, and it puts Blake at set point. He knows it.
Yeah, but remember what we've been saying, those slow balls, or the wind really wreaks havoc with them, and that's what happened there. As Zabaleta was holding the ball, waiting for Blake to commit one side or the other. By the time he committed, the ball had moved a little bit. Zabaleta shanked badly. He almost misjudged that overhead as well. It got a little bit behind him.
Wow. That ball stopped. Zabaleta fights off one set point.
Take another look at this. He goes sprinting up. Oh, this is going to come back towards him. Whoops, it's behind me. But he still managed to snap it with some power.
Zabaleta fights off another set point. They'll change sides. And what a match and what a tiebreak this has turned out to be.
What a set this has turned out to be. Zabaleta plays so well from behind. Remember the forehand winner he hit from the stands on another set point that Blake had earlier in this set when he was serving for the set. Zabaleta, when his back is against the wall, is very dangerous. Doesn't play as well from ahead, however, or even when things are all even. Plays more tentatively.
Skips off the line. Set point again for Blake. Oh, what a point. Both players using the forehand.
7-all.
Blake went a little too out of his way to run around his backhand, and that rally actually got himself in trouble. He'd gotten back to neutral in the point and instead gave up court by trying to run around his backhand again.
7 points all.
No set points to this point, or match points for Zabaleta. He's always coming back, always down set point this entire set. But he's now got a match point.
And now Mariano Zabaleta at match point to move into the finals.
It's a huge match for him just to get back in the game, really. You're stuck in the challengers and the qualifying when you're 154. This will get him back close to the main draw.
Second serve. Big pressure on Blake. Oh, and Blake off the frame of the racket. Unbelievable second serve. And this crowd kind of stunned, as we are, Jimmy. I couldn't believe that second serve.
Well, Blake not playing quite as well as Zabaleta when he's got his back against the wall, at least on that point, second serve. And you knew it was going to be pressure. You were kind of calling it, Barry. The wind is blowing.
Yeah.
He's thrown in a couple of double faults at bad times, and so Blake throws away that set with the double fault in the match.
Zabaleta left his racket behind the court. I think he forgot all about it. And a big hand for James Blake. A very disappointed American. Double faults on match point. And so Mariano Zabaleta moves into the championship match here in Houston. A huge hand from this crowd for the young man from Argentina. We'll be right back on match point. Let's go down to Wayne now, who's with the winner.
Well, Mariano, what an emotional moment. All out most of last year with a knee injury, knee surgery, all the way to the finals. You got to feel great. First time in 2 years.
Yeah, I feel unbelievable. I'm really happy because I be top guys this week, and I beat James today. James is incredible player. Everybody know him. Yep. He's top 10, and I'm really happy because I'm in the final again.
And boy, you got to the semifinals of River Oaks. You've won 4 in a row here. I think you've won 7 out of your last 8 matches. You're playing great clay court tennis right now.
Yeah, I feel really good here in Houston. I have a very good support all the week. Thank you for everybody to come. And gracias argentinos también. And I really enjoy this week, and I'm in the final again. For the last 2 years I didn't play any final, and I'm really happy.
Well, tomorrow you play the big man, 6'10" from Croatia, Ivo Karlovic. How have you done against him? Have you played him before?
He plays so good this week. He be a tough guys like today, Montañez or Tommy Haas in quarterfinal. I know he have a very good serve, and he plays so good. But if I play like this, maybe I have a chance. I don't know. Tomorrow is a different match, but of course I wanna win the tournament.
Well, you're playing awfully well, competing well. We wish you good luck tomorrow. Back to you, Barry and Jimmy, with Mariano Zabaleta.